I am so repulsed by Nintendo prices, especially third-party Nintendo licensed products, and Amiibo. The fact that the original Switch 1 never came down in price ever. Everything is just grossing me out. Now, months ago, I went to Best Buy and found this beautiful Zelda Deku Tree set on display, and it's really well designed. But then I saw the price. It's $300. That is the price of the original Switch. And I know Lego is expensive, but this is absolutely batshit. You know, I posted it on X, and people were, kind of annoyed by the price, but not everyone was surprised. And then, at that same Best Buy, I saw Amiibo prices for the first time in years. $30 for a regular figure. Last time I bought Amiibo, they were about $14.99. And then at that time, for a larger figure, like the Breath of the Wild Guardian, you'd pay like $25, which was really expensive at the time. Not $44.99. Again, $25 versus $44.99. Once again, I posted about this on X, and although most of you thought it was insane, there were still a lot of you who said it's well worth doubling the price, because there's an increase in material quality in the Amiibo, and also an increase in detail, plus inflation. But doubling the price? Is Samus on a bike worth $45? So for giggles, I went back to that Best Buy, just to see what was going on with the Amiibo, with the Lego, what had sold, and yeah. Wow, okay. $34, $35 for a bigger Amiibo, that Rosalina and the Mario. They're bigger than the Elephant Mario, which is $24.99, but still $24.99 is like $10 more than it was back, 5-8 years ago or whenever it was. Oh my God. And then here we have a Donkey Kong one that's about $30. That's kind of in between those for some reason. I don't know what makes it special, or maybe it's like, I don't know, newer, I suppose. I really have no idea. But yeah, $34.99. Crazy, absolutely crazy. And then there's another area, separate from that area, with more Amiibo, but this is like overstock because none of it seems to be priced. Yeah, there's a random one over there, a Kirby one right here. They're just like floating around? I don't know if it's because they're just not selling and they have too many. I have no idea. All right, so here I am back at the Legos, and don't get me wrong, like these are cool. These are really cool sets. And we know that Lego is pricey. And, based on what license they're using, it's probably gonna be more expensive or less expensive. But it seems like Nintendo is definitely one of the more expensive licensed Lego products. Especially if you're going by price per piece count. It tends to be up there. Here's that Zelda Lego set. There's a TV sitting in the way there. They were doing some construction or something, some setup, so I couldn't get it from the front. But here it is below on the side where they house the actual set. And again, $300, and somebody bought it. Here is a third random Amiibo location in the store. They have like 3 separate areas with Amiibo, so they seem like overstock and overflow. And I know that retail is dying compared to online. People are probably still buying lots of Amiibo, but it seems as if, at least here at this location, they are overstocked, they are not selling, etc., etc., etc. Just for a fun comparison, I went over to Target and checked out the same thing, right? Here we got Legos, although we have more Legos here. And again, the licensed stuff is gonna be expensive. But Nintendo is definitely up there when it comes to third-party licensed Lego products. Again, very, very cool sets. But, I mean, $200? $200 for that? I mean, I don't know. Am I just poor? I'm probably just poor. I don't know. Like, what the hell? I just think about the value I would get spending $300 on a Switch compared to spending $300 on a Lego set, right? It's fun to build, but then it just sits there. Whereas a Switch, if I were to buy that, I'd have a system that I can continuously enjoy and continuously play, etc., etc. I understand that this is kind of apples and oranges, but I mean, my God. Here we have the Amiibo, and I didn't take video of this. I don't know why. I can't remember my reasoning why I didn't. I just took pictures. I'm not sure, but you can see a similar thing. same pricing here. You have the larger Mario. He's more expensive than the smaller Elephant Mario. Just a much smaller selection. Maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe I just don't have the disposable income that you guys have. That's not me complaining, by the way, but I just see it very, very differently. I see it as a hunk of plastic to complement a game, and it shouldn't cost that much comparatively to the game. I understand that it sits on your shelf and it looks pretty and all that stuff and blah, 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 but I don't know. A lot of you guys seem to think that this was a perfectly reasonable price and this is totally fine. I don't know. Let me know why I'm wrong in the comments below. I would love to hear your opinion. No shame if you think that this is totally fair and reasonable price. I get it. We all have different opinions, but I don't know. I feel like I'm having an existential crisis regarding these prices. I don't know why. I just felt really compelled to talk about it today. Either way, I do appreciate you guys watching, commenting, subscribing, liking the video, all that good stuff, and I hope to see you all back for the next video. Take care. Baby, come